Hi there, welcome to Kids Quest, all about horses with the Woodford County Public Library. Today we are going to teach you a little bit about different kinds of horses, different jobs that horses have, different colors of horses. We're going to talk with Connor and Emily and Hannah at Midway University's Equine program. They're going to show you some of their horses, some different styles of riding horses, and teach us a little bit about what they do as students there. And also, we're going to talk with Monica and Rosie Seitz about their horses. They have horses in their backyard. They get to go and ride. They also take care of them. And we'll find out a little bit more about what it means to own a horse and how to take care of it. I'm also going to read you a story about a famous racehorse named Seabiscuit. And at the end, we'll do a little project. We're just going to draw a very simple horse. I'm going to teach you 6 steps to drawing that horse. So please stick around, enjoy, and I hope that you learned something.
Hey guys, my name's Connor Smith and I'm with Midway University, and today we're going to give you a virtual lesson around the barn.
I'm Hannah Warway. And I'm Emily Chandler, and we're going to be your virtual hosts. Hi guys, this is our resident Palomino, Chexie. Palominos usually have black skin, and they'll have a lighter mane, like so. And this over here is Misty. She is our flea-bitten gray. So we have a few here on campus, but she's one of the ones who works for our Western team. You can see here that she has a gray to white base of her color, and then she has several brown little speckled spots everywhere, and her skin color is also black with a white mane and tail. Hey guys, this here is Furby. She is a member of our Western team, and what we like to call her is a chestnut. She is solid one color all the way through. Her mane and tail are the same color as her body. And sometimes she actually has clear feet, so she has no markings on her feet. However, if you look at her face here, she does have a very nice blaze all the way from her forehead to her nose. And this is Rita. Rita is a member of our hunt seat team. She is a bay. Bays usually have black knees and black hocks. As you can see here, she's got black down her legs, both front and hinds. And they also have black manes and tails. And then if you look at her face, she's got a really cute little star here and a little snip. Hey guys, this here is Annie. She's the newest member to our Western team. She's a very unique color, one that we don't see too often. Annie is a red roan, also known as a strawberry roan. Her hair has it has a base coat of the chestnut, so it's like a brown. And then it has lots of little white accent colors that mix to make her a roan. And her mane is the same color as her body, so it's also got the brown base with lots of flecks of white hairs, and she also has a star. So just a quick recap, do you guys remember what the yellow horse was called? It was our Palomino Chexie. And then we did our flea-bitten. Our flea-bitten was the gray horse with the brown flecks. That was Misty. And then we did Furby. Furby was our chestnut. She was a full solid coat of color. And a little stripe down her nose, or a blaze. And then we did Rita. Rita was our bay horse on our hunt seat team. She's got black legs and a lighter colored body with a black mane and tail.
They're all different kinds of horses, and different horses have different jobs that they do. One kind of a horse is a thoroughbred horse, and these are typically race horses. So we have a lot of those here in Kentucky. We have thoroughbreds all over the fields when you drive around Kentucky, and they race at racetracks like Keeneland. And I have a story that I wanted to read today about one particular racehorse who was a famous racehorse, and it had a funny name, Seabiscuit. So this is the story of Seabiscuit, the Wonder Horse. And the author's name is Megan McCarthy. So here is Seabiscuit, the Wonder Horse. In the 1930s, times were tough. There were long lines to get food. People didn't have much, and they needed to escape. 1930s. Going to the racetrack was the perfect escape. People came from far and wide to watch their favorite horses race. The horses were sleek, elegant, muscular, well-bred, and fast. Real fast. So those sleek and elegant horses or thoroughbred horses. Except for one. His name was Seabiscuit. He loved to eat and sleep, but he hated to run. He had lost almost every race he had ever been in. His first trainer called him a big dog. Who would want a racehorse like that? Well, Charlie Howard, that's who. He bought Seabiscuit for a bargain price. He thought the funny-looking animal had potential, and so did these people. So this is Charles Howard, and this is John Red Pollard. He was Seabiscuit's jockey, and he saw that Seabiscuit had potential as well. And this is Silent Tom Smith. He was Seabiscuit's trainer. And so this is a little bit about Charles Howard, his owner. Howard became a millionaire by selling cars. He began his business when owning a car was quite unpopular, but he liked to take chances. It's no wonder he saw potential in Seabiscuit. He took a chance on a horse. And then John Red Pollard, he was nicknamed Red because of his red hair. Finding work as a jockey was hard, so for extra money he boxed. In his free time, he loved to read and recite poetry. He identified with troubled animals. And then Silent Tom Smith, Seabiscuit's trainer, was a man of few words. He was much more interested in horses than people and understood the animals very well. Seabiscuit was wild, but Silent Tom knew what was wrong. The small horse was lonely. In came some friends to calm him down. So he brought in another horse and a dog to be friends with Seabiscuit. Seabiscuit was lazy. Silent Tom knew the problem there too. The horse needed motivation, so in came the competition. So they brought a competitor for Seabiscuit. Seabiscuit was angry and stubborn. Red Pollard knew how to fix that. He didn't punish the horse like so many others had done in the past. He showed Biscuit that he was his friend, not his enemy. The once angry and wild horse became gentle. The once lazy horse became competitive and fast. But would anyone notice? After Seabiscuit won his first big race, people sure did. Wow, a horse that looked just like them. Beat up, imperfect, an underdog. A horse with courage. Word traveled fast. People had Seabiscuit-itis, described one sports writer. Even though Seabiscuit was becoming famous, there was another horse who was more so. His name was War Admiral. War Admiral was sleek, elegant, muscular, and fast, real fast. Charles Howard wanted his horse to be the most famous, fastest horse in history, so he challenged War Admiral to a race. War Admiral's owner, Samuel Riddle, scoffed at the challenge. Mr. Riddle thought the goofy-looking challenger didn't compare to his grand horse. Could Seabiscuit beat War Admiral? People pondered. Seabiscuit traveled all the way across the country to face the mighty War Admiral. There they are, face to face. Seabiscuit looks a little nervous. Can you imagine taking a horse all the way across the country? They travel just like people do. Sadly, an accident happened the day before the big race. Red Pollard was riding another horse. The horse got spooked and Red went flying. Red's leg was badly injured and he was rushed to the hospital. He was told he would never race again. Red was heartbroken. Everyone was disappointed. Was the race off? No, from his hospital bed, Red asked his good friend George, the Iceman, Wolf, to race in his place, and the race was on. So he got hurt badly, but you can tell he's okay. but he was told that he wouldn't be able to ride horses again. Many people came to watch the race, by train, by car, by boat, by the thousands. They were squished, crammed in like sardines, but that didn't matter. Jobs closed early so that no one would miss the race. 40 million Americans tuned in, even President Roosevelt. All eyes were on Seabiscuit and War Admiral. Everyone nervously watched the empty racetrack. In came War Admiral. In came Seabiscuit. A hush fell over the crowd. The horses twitched. The riders sat perfectly still. And they're off, shouted the announcer. Seabiscuit took the early lead, but War Admiral was catching up fast. They're head and head. It's the best horse from here in, proclaimed the announcer. Wolf whispered into Seabiscuit's ear. Then he turned to War Admiral and his rider. So long, Charlie, he said, like a freight train. Biscuit flew past War Admiral. War Admiral tried to catch up, but couldn't. Seabiscuit was too fast. Seabiscuit led by a length, said the announcer. Now Seabiscuit by a length and a half. Seabiscuit by 3. Seabiscuit is the winner by 4 lengths, shouted the announcer. And you never saw such a wild crowd. Wolf rode Biscuit into the winner's circle to the roar of cheers and bursts of flashbulbs. I wish my old pal Red was on him instead of me, Wolf said. Seabiscuit was America's hero, a little horse with the heart of a lion, proclaimed the newspaper. People were able to forget their troubles, even if just for a minute. And that's the end. That's the story of Seabiscuit, and it's a true story. That really happened in the 1930s. So if you want to research a little bit more, there's lots of famous racehorses, and a lot of them came from right here in Kentucky.
Hello, my name is Rosie Seitz, and this is my horse Valentine. I'm 11 years old, and he is a quarter horse paint. Good. I've probably been riding about since I've been 5 years old. And for attacking him up, we just put a saddle on, tighten his girth, do his bridle, and then you have to groom him. And then when you feed him in the morning, you have to do hay, right there, and then feed, and then some water and treats. It's fly. That's all.
How long does it take you to get ready to ride him in the morning?
Usually to get ready to ride him, it takes me about 30 minutes. I'm a bit slow. It takes me a bit.
And then how long do you normally ride?
I normally ride for like 45 minutes, probably an hour. And then warming up takes about 20 minutes, but that's in that time.
And then when you're finished riding, how long does it take to get him settled back into his stall?
Probably get him settled back in. We put him in the field, so I have to rinse him off usually or brush him off. And then I have to put all of his stuff on. So it probably takes me about 30 minutes, 25. It takes me a bit.
It's a pretty long process. You must really love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Rosie.
My name is Monica Seitz. I am Rosie's older sister, and this is Bubba. He is a warm blood horse. We've kind of been growing up with horses our whole life. We've been very lucky. We live on a farm. We have raised horses as our parents' jobs, and we're very lucky to live in Kentucky, the horse capital of the world, I guess.
Will you tell us a little bit about this horse?
Yeah. We actually just started leasing this horse, so in the horse world, a lot of leases work out. You can either pay for them or, kind of do it free just to take care of the horse for the person, and that's kind of the deal that we make. So we actually don't ride him a ton. He is a companion for Valentine, and he used to be a Grand Prix jumper, so he used to jump really high fences in a show jumping ring, and now he's just kind of enjoying his life here. He's gotten older. We'll ride him occasionally to keep him fit, and he just enjoys, munching on grass on his days and things like that.
So do a lot of horses need a companion?
I would think so, at least for Valentine, and sometimes they're not the right fit. He had one before, Bubba, and it was not the right fit, and sometimes it's just how they are. It's like people, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think they do need somebody.
So they're good friends?
Yeah, they are great friends. I think he is a little more attached to our other horse, then our other horse is attached to him. So, yeah.
So how long is Bubba in his stall for a day?
For the days, we only bring him down to hang out here while Rosie rides her horse. Because they just stay in the paddock all day to enjoy life outside, they don't really need to stay in the barn. I know some horses will be different. We'll spend most of the days when it gets hotter outside in the barn, and that's what we'll do if it gets really hot and really cold. But other than that, he spends maybe an hour in here a day while Rosie will get her riding, so he doesn't get lonely up in the paddock, and then they just get turned out again.
Thanks, Bubba.
Okay, I'm going to do the blue, red, and black one, which is right there. That's a vertical. And I'm going to come around, turn left to the oxer, which is the two jumps put together with a space in the middle, and the blue, white, and black one. And that'll be big tough.
Okay.
And I'll do a bigger course.
Sounds good.
Want to warm it up a bit.
Gotta refuse one.
Okay. Okay. I will do the green and white one, the vertical, to the white one with the yellow flowers, which is another vertical. And then I will turn them around and go to that barrel. It's a cross-country fence, but it works.
Rosie, you're awesome. Do you ever get scared when you're jumping over those jumps?
Well, usually when they're the bigger ones, like oxer's a bit scary, and then the barrel he's refused a lot of times today. So, yeah, sometimes,
A little intimidating?
Yeah.
Well, you do a great job. You don't look
you.
scared at all.
So here we have Hannah demonstrating a walk. So this is a 4-beat gait, obviously one of the slower gaits, and the slowest in So it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now she's going to pick up a trot here with Dazzle. So a trot is a 2-beat gait. So as you can see, the diagonal pairs of legs move together. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And so now Hannah has picked up a left lead canter. So horses are left and right-handed, just like you and I. So some prefer to canter on their left lead, and some prefer to canter on their right lead. So the lead is just saying that that is the leg that they're starting off with. So that now she's going to switch her around. And so now she's picked up the right lead. And a canter is a 3-beat gait. So 2 legs move diagonally at the same time, while the other 2 are on their own separate beats as well. So here Hannah is gonna do a cross rail with Dazzle. And she's gonna come around and do a flower box and gait. So this here is Connor demonstrating on one of our reining horses here at the university, a walk. So it's the same 4-beat gait as what Dazzle did. And Duke here is just exhibiting it slower because the Western pleasure, or Western riding really, is just a little bit slower and a little more less forward than a hunt seat horse would be. They are demonstrating a trot or a jog, as we would call it in the Western riding. And so here it's still the same 2-beat gait. It's just a little bit slower, a little more less forward than it is with the hunt seat horse and Dazzle. So still ground covering, nice and easy. So here we have Connor and Duke demonstrating a canter, or a lope as we like to call it when riding Western. So it's the same 3-beat gait, but just like all the other gaits, it's a lot slower, a lot more relaxed. Just really nice and ground covering, and just easy going. So here we have Connor and Duke demonstrating a spin, which is a maneuver that we often see in our reining classes, which is a Western riding class.
Thank you for joining our virtual learning session, and we hope you enjoyed it. See you later.
See you later.
For our last activity, I'm going to walk you through how to draw a very simple horse. Horses are very difficult to draw. They have a lot of features on their face, and they have this muscular body, and they have big bodies with little skinny legs and hooves. So I think it's easier for our first time drawing a horse that we just do a very simple horse that looks kind of like a cartoon or an illustration you might see in a book. There's only 6 simple steps. And I'm going to share the screen with you so you can see the different steps, and I'm also going to draw it while you do. So if I were you, I would use a pencil because that way it's easy to erase if you make mistakes. I'm going to use a Sharpie because it's easier for you to see the Sharpie than it would be if I just used a pencil. And I might make mistakes, but that's okay because I can always start over. Also, you're just going to need a white piece of paper to draw on. So first I will share my screen so you can see the steps to drawing a horse. You should see them up there right now. Pretty easy. And then I'm going to tilt my screen down so you can see my piece of paper, my hands, my Sharpie, and we can draw a horse together. So the first step is just a circle, but it's more like an oval and it's kind of squished. So imagine drawing an egg, but you're gonna make it a little more squished than you would make an egg. That's it, pretty simple. And the second step is to draw the horse's head. The horse's head in this step really just looks like an upside down boot. So if you can imagine the boot coming out from the horse's head or from the horse's body and come back down to meet the horse's body. And it kind of looks a little bit like a dinosaur head too. Probably a more realistic horse would have a longer snout or mouth. But like I said, ours is just a very simple cartoonish horse. In step 3, you want to add the legs. Horses need legs to run in the fields and the paddocks and to canter, all the things we just learned about. So it's 1 leg, 2 legs. So I really don't like that leg. 3 legs, 4 legs. So most animals have 2 legs in the front and 2 legs in the back. And step 4 would be to give your horse some cute little ears, 2 ears, and then a smile, unless your horse is mad. My horse is happy, so it's going to smile, and an eye. Starting to look a little more like an animal. And then step 5, you want to add the horse's hair. So the horse's hair is called the mane, and they have hair that comes off their necks, and then some around their ears and their eyes. I'm going to give my horse kind of crazy hair. And then his tail, I'm going to give him a long flowing tail that flows behind him in the breeze. There's this long tail. All right, so in step 6, there's just one thing left to do. If you notice the videos we were watching, all of the horses had saddles on. So this helps someone ride the horse. So we're going to give our horse a saddle, which is just a rectangle. And then we're going to draw the strap that holds the saddle onto the horse. And if you notice, I drew the saddle rounded. Even though my paper is flat and my horse is flat, if you draw a round strap on your saddle, it gives you the illusion of the horse's belly being round. And that is how you draw a horse. Also, if you wanted to make a unicorn, all you would have to do is add a horn on its forehead. And voila, you have a unicorn. And now you're ready to color your horse. Any color that you want to. You could color it some of the colors that they talked about in Midway University's part of the program. Or you could color it purple, pink, anything that you wanted to. So I hope that you have enjoyed Kids Quest today. I hope you learned a lot about horses and had fun. And I hope you'll join us again for another library program. Bye-bye.